Bad attempt at a Q.
I got it, Mark.
Eight, three, three, two. Okay, there's 7 through 18. Remember, no negative exponents can be in your final answer. Oh, what's so? So 12 is 1 over W to the 13th there. For using the back. 13, 1 over F to the 18th. Final answer.
What about 11?
11 is V. That's a V to the 14th.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how I write my V's.
it just looked like a negative 14.
I'm drawing V's like a square root.
Yeah, that's how I write them.
Isn't 16 negative 25?
No. It's not.
That's why it's not written like that up there.
And let me tell you why not. The way it's written, -5, okay, squared. Whatever's in parentheses is to the second power, right?
Yeah.
So that means that you would have to write it as -5k times -5k 2 times, right? What's -5 times -5?
Oh, 25.
25, k times k is k squared. If you use your rules, whatever that number is in there to the second power, this is how you have to treat it as a -5 being squared because of that. All right? And then k squared. So either way, whichever direction you go, it would be positive. Okay, if it's in the parentheses, if it was outside the parentheses, I don't know if we got one like number 17. If it's outside of it, it doesn't get to the power, so it's automatically going to be negative. Okay? All right. Good question. And then that last set there, all right, you got a lot going on in those last few. So 19, for 18, if you take a look at that, now 18, that's probably would be missed the most. Okay, that tends to be missed the most. And what I do for that one, you can see it here, is you got this -2 power. I think it's easier to make that a positive power by just moving that whole thing to the denominator and making it a +2 power. And once you do that, it's just like 16. If we work with Preston, is -3 times -3 is 9 p squared. So that's going to be that final answer. That's probably the one that's missed the most overall.
And I'd say you guys probably asked the most questions yesterday between 16, 17, and 18. All ones that dealt with negatives.
Right. Yep. You got negative number. Those tend to be cause some problems. 19 s to the 20th, t to the 9th. 20 a to the 10th times b to the 5th when you're done. And 21. Oh, that'll be a hard one too. You should be able to get that. What am I saying? 1 over x to the 16th y squared. I'm a believer. Okay. J-Leaves make sense? Perfect, right? All right. Good work. All right, any questions, anything we can clear up? All right, we gotta do one more section and then next week we will have a quiz. I gotta double check. It might be Wednesday, probably Thursday, I think. I gotta do that.
What you get?
What I do with the, okay.
Definitely wrong. I said 5.
You said.
I got first period plan, I can print that stuff.
I just put that. Yeah, great.
What was the answer number 22?
You get multiple 2.62 times 5. Sure.
Oh my God.
I have it. No, I didn't put it up.
Acts like he doesn't want to.
Just those two, right?
That's like we
Well, he and my.
how? I was down in
Hey, he put it on as the
20th
again.
I'm a good freshman.
These guys are all over it.
Come on, Mr. Gillette.
All about making sure I'm right.
Oh, these ones we just flip?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are.
It is every year. It is every year. All right, hey, let's take a look at this here. This first one, if you take a look at the very top, and now we've done the multiplication part, and this is the next thing we're at is the division part, or quotients. You got 3 to the 5th over 3 cubed. If you go back to just what it means, this basic definition, that's kind of how you develop these rules. 3 to the 5th does not mean 5 times 3. It means 3 times 3, 5 times. That's what that power means. And 3 cubed means you got 3 of them. Well, if you look here, when you have the same thing on top and bottom and everything's being multiplied, remember you can cancel them. So I can just cancel these 3 with these 3, and what do I got left? How many 3s do I got left? 2 of them. So what's the shortcut? So remember, you can always write it out, but we want to figure out the shortcut is if I got this 5 and this 3, it ends up being a 2, right? Well, Zach? Yep, just subtract them. 5 minus 3 is 2. So there's your rule. A to the m divided by a to the m equals a to the m minus m. So Amanda, what's that next one beside it? What's it say? X to the what?
X to the 7th over X to the 2nd.
That's just x to the 5th. You could write 7 x's out if you really wanted to. And then you could write 2 x's out and cancel them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I got 2 of them down here. But we don't want to do all that work. So you can just subtract. Okay. All right, now let's take a look. And that's just as basic as you can get. Yes, we're going to add some things, but that's the general rule, general concept. 2 to the 7th over 2 squared is 2 to the 5th. Now, if it's a constant, 9 times out of 10, you want to finish it. But I want to see the 2 to the 5th. Use your calculator. 2 to the 5th is 32. Okay. Can't do that with a variable. X to the 4th over x cubed. Josh, what's x to the 4th over x cubed gonna give me?
X over 1.
Say it again.
X1.
Yep, x to the first power or just x. You don't even need to write the first power. If you do, that's okay. Okay, see there. You have to be careful now, and we have to follow all the other rules that we've already developed before we do this rule. This bottom, d times e to the second power. You have got to take the power to both the d and e first and write it as d squared and e squared before you subtract. Kind of goes with your order of operations. You got to do parentheses before division. But now, d to the 4th over d squared, subtract exponents. 4 minus 2 is 2. So you get d squared, e cubed over e squared, e to the first power, or just e. So you get d squared e. That's it. All right, take a look at d though. Just be careful here. Colin, what do you think we do with the 3s? It'll become 3 to what power? Any ideas?
First.
All right, here's what you got to watch.
Oh, negative first.
Yep, very good. -1. Because you got to take the top exponent minus the bottom exponent. 1 minus 2. And so then I got to take 3 minus 4, which gives me 4 to the negative first power. And then I got to take 5 minus 3, which gives me 5 to the second. Now this is a problem. I'm going to want this answer as a fraction. Because if you type this in your calculator, it'll give you some crazy decimal. I got to get rid of those negative exponents. Sam?
5 to the second over 3 to the first and 4 to the first.
Okay, very good. 5 to the second over 3 to the first times 4. I don't even need to write the first power. I can just write 3 times 4. Now I just got to clean it up. Zach? 25 over 12. 5 squared is 25. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, 5 squared is 25. 3 times 4 is 12. And just leave that. Okay, you'll just leave that. And is there one more there? There it is. M to the 5th, n to the 4th, over, and now we got that m to the 5th and second power n. So we got to get rid of that m to the 5th to the second power. Remember that rule we do there? Okay, Christian, do you remember how I would handle this right here?
Oh, you times them together.
Yep. And so that would give me m to the 10th n. All right, now at this point, Hanan, what do you think?
Do 5 minus 10.
Which gives us what?
Maybe 5.
Good. And then what else would we do?
4 minus 1.
4 minus 1, which would give me 3. Joe, get that down yet?
Yeah.
Can I leave that as my answer?
Nope, it has a negative.
Good. Negative exponent. All right, well, what do you think the answer would be then?
Wait, what did you say?
What do you think the answer would be then? Since I can't leave it like that, how would I fix it?
Would it be m to the 3rd over n to the 5th?
It sounded like you said the letters wrong, but I think you had the right idea. N to the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Over m to the 5th. Is that what you want? That's right. Okay. So yeah, you can't have that negative exponent, move it down below. N cubed over m to the 5th. For that. All right, now, and this should make sense from everything we've already done. If you got a quotient to a power, 2 to the third to cubed. It just means 2 to the thirds times 2/3 times 2/3, which means we got 2 to the cubed over 3 cubed. Basically, this 3 goes to both the top and the bottom. Now, in the end, this would be 8 over 27. But the key here is you just put the power to both the numerator and denominator. Okay, let me see what you got there. Is that all you got? All right, so below there, it has a over b to the n power, right? Here's our rule. That's just going to be a to the n over b to the n. Okay, anytime you got that. And then what do you have next to that? You got x to the x divided by 5 to the third power, right? So that's going to be x cubed over 5 cubed, but we want to make that 5 cubed. What is that, 125? So you do that. So now if you got a fraction, you got that power has to be applied to both the numerator and then the denominator. Okay, for that. All right, see what you come up with for the first two. Just see what you do for the first two, then we'll take a look.
Showing me all time basketball programs, wins and coaches. Nobody's lasted longer than 6 years. You guys gonna crush that. Or I will get crushed. Something getting crushed either way.
Yeah, either way.
That was just surprising me.
Oh, all right, Evan, how do I handle number 1 here? Good, 4 to the second, 7 to the second, then just make that 16 over 49. All right, I anticipate some mistakes on 2. Who thinks they can handle it? Sam,
Do I explain how I did it, or do I just do the answer?
give me the answer first, and then we'll go back and we'll see what is right.
Okay, I got 81 b to the 8th over e to the 4th and f to the 4th.
All right, now I'm just curious. Josh, you agree with that?
No.
What did you get different?
For the. Yes. No, I agree with that. I agree with that fully.
Jeez, make up your mind, Josh.
So agree.
That is correct. Now, here's my big thing. The 81, all right? Does anybody have 12? Anybody put 12 there? That will admit it. Okay, that tends to be the biggest issue. Connor, do you have 81?
Yes, I did.
All right. Maybe it's sinking in, Mr. Schlur.
You never know. You're lucky.
This 3 to that power, remember, that is 3 to the 4th power, which, yes, is 81. And then the 4 times 2 is 8. And then these are 1s for the exponents there, even though they're not written. So that you get a 4 and a 4. So, yes, it should be the 81. All right, very good if you got that. Excellent. Now, oh, goodness gracious, what's going on here? This is crazy. All right, hold on here. We got to take this one step at a time. Let's work inside, before I take that squared on the outside to anything. Let's get, what do I do, Preston, with this xy to the 3rd power? What do I get?
Give the third exponent to equal, I guess.
Yep, it becomes x cubed, y cubed, and then I got 2x to the 3rd, and then all those squares. So let me do that first. All right, now this tends to be deceiving, this 2 to the 2nd power, because you can actually think of it wrong and get it right. Because it should be 2 squared. 2 squared gives you 4. Or some. All right, now, how about from here, Zane? keep the train rolling here.
Okay. And then write down x to the 6th,
Okay,
and then the bottom x 6th, or x to the 6th, and then y to the 6th.
okay, all right, I agree with everything here. Now, that cannot be your final answer. Okay, that cannot be, we've done everything right, we're good, we have that, we're not done yet. Christian?
Would it be 4 over x to the 12?
Ooh.
Wait. No.
What do we always do? What was our rule we just learned? If you're dividing,
Oh, wait.
what do you do to those powers?
Subtract
What's 6 minus 6?
0.
What's x to the 0?
1.
1. So you don't even need to write it, so what's the only thing that's left?
1. 6.
Y to the 6. So you can do that two ways. X to the 6 over x to the 6 will be x to the 0, or if you got the exact same thing on top and bottom, they cancel. Either way they're gonna be gone, but you just get 4 over y to the 6. Okay, for that answer. And then do you have, or is that the one we just, nope, that's a different one. Do you guys get this one?
No.
All right, we don't need to do it.
Oh.
All right, now, to this negative second, if you got a fraction negative second, now just pay attention to this and then we'll go to your notes. It's really easy if you figure it out really quickly, okay? What do you think, Zach?
You have to, you basically do what you did for multiply, so if you have x to the negative second and y to the negative second,
Okay,
and then you have to flip them because they're negative, so it'll be y to the negative second over x squared.
okay. And I want to do one thing, since these are both the same, I can make it y over x to the second. So kind of Zach just led us to this rule. If you got a fraction to a negative power, what you can do is you can change the -2 to a +2, but what do you do to the inside? Flip it. That's the quick and easy way. Now, you can go through all those steps to get there, because that's really what's happening. You did a really good job of walking us through it. But you can also just jump right to there, which means, and just look at this one, m over n to the third, I can write as n over m to the +3. And I like that because we get rid of that negative exponent. Okay, so if you got a fraction to a negative power, you can flip it. And like Zach just went through those steps, that's what you're doing. But we can just jump all the way over. Okay. Now, I'm not even going to go through that. So where's my rule? Hold on here. Whoa, get back. I'm seeing if I got that rule written down, because I think I got some. All right, we'll just go there. Let me see what you got on the paper. All right, so you got a over b to the -n, right? The rule. Oh, it froze on me.
Had bad luck this week.
I have had bad luck. All right, so let's see if I can fix that.
Now it's right on the board.
Is this right? Yeah, and then you guys got to do a couple of those.
All right, here. So the rule on your sheet says A over B
Yeah.
to the -n. All right, our rule just becomes B over A to the +n. Okay. Go ahead and try. You have x over 3 to the -4. Take about 20 seconds to try to figure that out. You got it, Brett? Or that, yes.
Brett's been rolling up here.
Okay, also, you could do this, B to the N, A to the N, okay? That works. That's the same thing.
There's the rule.
Alright, then you have x over 3 to the negative 4. Who thinks they have an answer for that one?
Yeah.
Preston?
3 over x to the fourth.
Alright, so I got 3 over x to the 4th, but now I want to do the next part of it. So what am I going to do?
I thought it was okay.
Okay, the 4 is going to go to both of those, the numerator and the denominator, so I get 3 to the 4th over x to the 4th. Zach?
81 over x to the 4th.
And then that becomes 81 over x to the 4th.
Hey, I know we're getting low on time, I just wanna do one more, do part B, we're gonna do part B together there, okay? 2x squared y cubed, and this is how I would tell you to do, anytime you got a fraction to a negative power, you can flip that fraction and make it a positive 2. Now, just from experience, if you don't flip it and you try to multiply that negative 2 in, you end up making more mistakes because you end up messing up this 2. This will now become y to the 6. 2 squared is 4. X to the 4th. Okay, x to the 4th.
Zach?
So for C, I tried to do it and I don't know.
I'll take a look at C. For you. All right, take a look at that. I need you to do a few here. This will be your homework. Now we're heading into a new 9 weeks.
homework on Friday.
Yeah, you were writing all, you write like 4 out.
Yeah, I did that.
We're not watching film today.
Unless Evan can get a spot to send him to video. Dude, I'd rather watch film than practice.
Hello. Yes, and they 3D print these plastic pieces, and so you hook the time to the back passes of your car, like where the metal rods are, and then you put the vinyl, you just cut the plastic piece, and then you put the back again, and then you put the plastic piece on that, so it doesn't like fall in.
Sure.
For just $4, you can get 10 extra.
Oh my gosh, just for $2 extra?
Right, right.
What an amazing
You can
offer.
pick plaid or black.
All right, I'll have to look it over.
And I'm in the stop class for first and second period. And I'm going over.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. No problem.
Yeah. I made it through the end. You Yes.
Yeah, I think they're having some issues with Canvas, we gotta get it figured out. Okay, thanks, Preston.
This is your desk.